Pirates to town. And hi, everybody. I'm Matt Janice alongside the legendary former coach Harry Peretta. Coach, as the calendar flips to February, these two teams bring in eerily similar resumes. Both really need a win here today.
Yeah, they both do need a win. And like I said before, their stats are unbelievably similar. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, they're within 1 to 2 points in every category. So it should be a competitive game.
The Big East standings tell a similar story as well, as this is an important contest.
Yeah, I mean, Seton Hall's only 1 game back in the loss column, so if they win this game, they'll split with Villanova, and then it comes down to what each team can do towards the end of the year.
This game might come down to the matchup of dynamic and versatile guards. Let's start with Seton Hall's Azana Baines.
Baines can do a little bit of everything. Her defense is good. She steals the ball here, breakaway. She also has a tremendous offensive skill set, and she uses it to her advantage around the basket and on the perimeter. So if she has a good game, Seton Hall will be feeling pretty good.
And Tony Bozzella, her head coach, calls her as selfless as any player he's coached from a Stars perspective. Meanwhile, speaking of stars, Lucy Olsen just keeps getting better and better.
She is. I mean, she's had some tremendous games this year, especially within the Big East. She had 37 against Marquette when Villanova upset them. So they're going to be looking for her early, and if she can produce, Villanova will have a good day today.
That's what the Wildcats are hoping. A home game for Villanova. A critical road contest for Seton Hall. A big one in the Big East. We get started next.
Great drive fuels the leaders of tomorrow and today. Great vision paves the way for a brighter future. Great ambition goes places, moving onward and upward. Great empathy finds strength in kindness and in each other, working together to create something bigger than they ever imagined. Great minds can change the world, and great minds start at Seton Hall.
Go. To move from one place to another.
Let's go again.
Good to go.
We should go.
Go Cats.
Go for it.
Keep going, keep going.
Let go.
3, 4, let's go. At Villanova University,
Go ahead.
our restless hearts, curious minds, and limitless drive propel us forward. Ignite change, go Nova.
Welcome back inside the Finneran Pavilion. Good atmosphere. Big game in the Big East. Seton Hall visiting Villanova. As we get set to get started, that's a look at Tony Bozzella, the 11th season in charge of his alma mater. Won his 200th game at Seton Hall earlier this year and his 500th game overall in his long-time and illustrious head coaching career. On the other sideline, Denise Dillon, in her 4th season in charge, took over for some guy named Harry Peretta. Don't know what he's doing these days, and has done a fantastic job. Got the Wildcats to the Sweet 16 a season ago. It's Lopes to tip it up against Lucy Olsen for Villanova. And we are underway. Seton Hall will begin with the basketball.
Seton Hall runs a lot of handoffs, Matt. A lot of pick and roll, a lot of handoff into post-ups, which they're trying to do right away.
Right, tried to force one inside for Baines. It was tipped away. An early steal for Villanova.
Yeah. I know they're going to throw the ball inside because one of Tony Bozella's keys to the game was foul shooting. They wanted to get more foul shots, but I'm not, like, again, you know I'm more of a mobile guy on the perimeter than I am a pounded inside guy.
Denai Jones, an early 3 for Villanova.
That's a really good sign for them. If she scores, Seton Hall's going to have problems.
She's been on a scoring run here, 3 straight games in double figures. Denise Dillon saying her development's such a big thing for this team. Meanwhile, Case Satterfield, a good drive, and Seton Hall on the board.
Well, Villanova loses their shot blocker right now. She's not starting because of medical issues. And Megan Olbrich is a good player, but it's only her 2nd game back from injury, and she's not as quick as Dulce, and she isn't as big as Dulce.
Olsen able to create off the bounce. By the way, that shot from Jones was changed to a 2, so a 2-point Villanova lead.
Villanova's trying to play off on the perimeter. Here's the handoffs I talked about. And then the one-on-one from Baines.
Baines working on Runyon. Good job to create space, but could not finish. And it'll stay with Seton Hall. And
yeah. They're going to try to isolate Baines on the wings. She's going to drive it a lot. They're going to try to post her. So they'll use her a lot of different ways.
it'll be interesting. Caitlin Oriole into the starting lineup, as is
Megan
Obrys for the Wildcats, and a late change is no Maddie Weber. You mentioned she's a little banged up, and then no Christina Dulce. So rebounding going to be something to keep an eye on.
Correct.
Runyon a good box out, and Jones able to grab it there for the Wildcats.
And Denise went to experience. The two players that she started for them are experienced players.
Oriole misses the open three. Olsen keeps it alive, and another try here for Nova.
That's last game. Tony Pacello told me that he's got to be able to stop Obrys and other of Villanova's role players from scoring. That's who won the game at Seton Hall.
Olsen picking up where she has been operating all year. The Big East, the step back jumper, Nova up 4.
Go to the handoff action. Now they'll try to isolate here. Pick and roll.
Olsen, also a good defender, able to stop Gregg.
This is where they have a little bit of a problem right here inside.
Fine pass from Satterfield, sets up Lopes for the easy 2.
This is going to be perimeter against maybe some inside. So
that's one of the areas where Kate Satterfield's game has really improved this year.
And this is going to be a grinded game, Matt. You know, last game was the first one to 50. So, and this game could wind up being like that.
Jones open, feeling it early, another deep 2, and a 4-point Villanova lead.
And this is, like I said, Villanova has a lot of good role players, and you better guard them because they're starting to play with a lot more confidence.
Curling off the screen, it's Gray. In her first year at Seton Hall, the transfer from Texas Southern turns it over. Olsen able to rip it away for Nova.
Yep. Even though these teams are close in turnover ratio, Seton Hall will tend to turn the ball over more because they'll tend to dribble drive it more and post up more. That's where you get most of your turnovers. And Villanova's running their motion offense. Now, Seton Hall doesn't switch a whole lot on it.
Run to the deep shot, and that one off the fingertips of the Wildcats.
Wow.
Not agreeing with Megan Obrys. She thought that one would stay with Nova. Denise Dillon didn't love the call either. That last meeting that you alluded to, it didn't look like either team would get to 50. It was a 5-point Villanova win. An early timeout call.
I actually thought the ball went off of Seton Hall in that too.
So as Tony Mazzella gives it to his team on the sideline for the Pirates, they'll look to regroup. Nova leading by 4, 3.5 minutes into the contest.
Thank you for your longtime support of Villanova University, and let's go Cats! Now then, show up your dance skills on the Mainline Health Dance Cam.
to attend either the Big East men's or women's basketball tournament this year for you and a guest? Scan the QR code on the screen to enter the Big East Road Trip Sweepstakes. Must be 18 years or older to be eligible. Well, that sounds like fun. It's going to be a whale of a Big East tournament on both the men's and women's side, but particularly on the women's side, this is a matchup of two evenly seeded teams. Villanova up by 4 early. Tony Bozzella taking a timeout. Coach, what was he talking about his team?
I just think their defense was not very good away from the ball. There were too much concentration on Lucy Olsen, giving the other kids too easy of shots. And Villanova's going to full court press here now. Something that they've been doing more of this year.
Also bring Christina Dulce into the contest. She came off the bench here today. Coach's decision to give her a different look, maybe keep her out of foul trouble as well.
Seton Hall didn't have anybody in the middle on that. They were lucky to break that press. There they go, post up.
Backing down Oriole in case Satterfield able to finish.
That's what they're going to do. It's going to be inside-outside game. And Seton Hall is not switching the screen, so it's a little bit of an advantage to Villanova, because if you don't switch the screens, Villanova should get the curls or get open on the perimeter easier.
And to shoot here for Olsen, looking to create. They leave her open, and she needs some.
Lucy Olsen will get that shot anytime they want if they don't switch. So I don't understand why they're playing that way, but they're going to give Olsen too many easy shots, I think, if they don't switch. Olsen,
who really struggled from the field when these teams squared off the first time, but found a way to make her presence felt in other parts of the game. She had 6 assists.
If Villanova makes more threes in this game, it'd be very difficult for them to lose.
Baines backing her way in on Runyon. Runyon, good physicality, but Baines just bigger and able to finish.
And that was rough. It wasn't fluid, it was rough. I think Villanova will take that kind of possession. Even though they scored, it wasn't a fluid possession for Seton Hall.
The nice part, though, about Azana Baines, she can play with her back to the basket. Yep. She can play off the dribble. She can do a little bit of everything.
Going to give Olsen another. Oh.
Dawsey slipping to the bucket. Double comes fast. Good job passing out of it. Olsen left open and misses.
I just don't understand what Seton Hall's doing. This kid's the 6th leading scorer in the country. You can't leave her open.
Averaging 23 points per game. Went for 40 in a contest earlier this year. 6 times 20 or more, and that one will stay with Seton Hall.
Yeah, she comes off the screen. They don't switch it. 3-point shot. Now they help. Leave her open again for 3.
Well, that first one, pretty good screen there from Christina
Yes,
Dawson.
It was. But if you don't switch, the person coming off the pick and roll is going to be open like 80% of the time. And then I would have a rule in this game that the person guarding Olsen, I would never let her double the post.
What will stay with Seton Hall. 9 to shoot for the Pirates. Olsen already with 10. She's made all 4 of her shots from the field. Villanova as a team, 6 of 8.
Yeah, the way they're playing this game, Matt, if they guard Olsen like that, she could get 40.
There's Pinckney into the contest. The sophomore over a double team. Can't find the rim. They'll let him play on as Dulce grabs the rebound. Patty Burke into the contest. They'd like to get her going from the perimeter. Really struggling with her shot the last 4 weeks.
Now that time they did switch.
Olsen doubled. Burke left open. And rattles around it out.
But that time they did double. I'm not sorry, they didn't double. They switched and forced Olsen to pass the ball.
Burke, who came to Villanova from Penn State, known as a good outside shooter. She's now missed 39 of her last 45 threes.
She gets mental with players, Matt, you know? You just have to keep playing.
That's what Denise Dillon's been talking to her about. That's your job. You got to shoot the ball. Trust yourself. Up and under move and a fine finish from Baines in traffic.
Well, that's something that time, Matt, when she drove the ball, she could see Villanova's doubles coming at her, and she could play off it. It's when she has her back to them that she can't see the double teams.
So Seton Hall trying to weather the storm. The Villanova barrage of outside jumpers in the early going. Only down by 4. Olsen playing downhill, can't finish. And a one and done. Good rebound from the Pirates. Baines.
Well, that time, again, they forced Olsen to take a tough shot there.
Addie Weber will come in for Villanova as you see Olsen.
They're going to press again here, Matt. Last time Seton Hall struggled with this, Let's see if they can break it easier. They don't have anybody in the middle of the floor. They don't have anybody in the middle of the court here.
Weber, 34, trying to set the double team. Good hands from Zadai Jones. It'll stay with Seton Hall.
Yeah, they'll have problems against this press if they don't get somebody in the middle.
They've only got 2 seconds to get this one over.
Yep. I don't know if they know that. I wonder if they're aware of it.
The officials might have just went and told Tony Bozzella over on the sideline. Seton Hall will throw it into the front court.
They were aware of it.
And it ends up in a turnover. A deflection. Jones chasing down the loose ball for the layup.
I would stay in the press if I'm Villanova. I would stay in it. They're not handling the pressure very well.
Wildcats up by 6. 2 3/4 left in the opening period. It's the true freshman Catalan and a moving screen called against Baines.
Yeah, she bumped her and then moved into her.
Almost looked like a lead blocker
Yes.
next week's Super Bowl.
You have to hold the screen. They knew there was only 2 seconds on the clock to get it over, but once again, they don't get themselves open. I don't really like the way they're attacking the pressure at all.
Try to use the frame of Satterfield to hold off, but give credit to the Villanova defense for fighting through. Jones hit the 2 jumpers early. Backdoor cut, not theirs. That was a force from Dulcie. Villanova got back initially, but the up and under move, right, pretty finish.
Yeah, she can play. She's very, very good off the dribble. She can create, and that was a good play. Got Dulcie off her feet.
And Tony Bozzella said she has to look for her offense. She's such a good distributor, but she's got to be willing to try to finish. Here's Dulcie on the offensive glass, and the follow, Christina Olsen.
The one thing about Dulcie, people don't understand it. They don't guard her on the offensive end because she's not a good shooter. But because they don't guard her, she's free to go to the offensive boards all the time.
Right, can't finish with the left hand. Good contest for the freshman Weber, and Villanova's going the other way. Olsen is no one stop. Ball makes a pay.
Hall looks very lethargic on defense.
Bit of a surprise because the one thing Tony Bozzella said about this group, despite all the injuries they've dealt with, effort has not been a problem at all this year.
Sometimes it just, you just don't have your feet underneath you right away.
Bill Harvey, Carr can't hit the jumper, and Olsen comes in to clear the board.
Gonna get an open shot here. Oh.
Weber trying to look off the defender. Good hands from right, but Weber to the basket. Dulcie, another offensive board, got it blocked. It'll stay with Villanova, but there's a reason why she's second in the country in offensive boards.
Yeah, she is. She's really great on the offensive boards. And I told you, a lot of times is because they play off of her, and when the shot goes up, they don't find her. The box out. And like I said, Villanova just looks quicker in this game right now. They look quicker to the ball. Even that shot by Weber was a relatively easy shot. They just happened to miss it.
It's a good sign for Seton Hall. McKenna White going to get back after she has missed the last couple weeks due to injuries. So we'll see how many minutes she can go.
And you're right, Matt. She's got to look to score the ball here. That's what she's got to look to do.
Right player downhill, the scooping right-hand finish.
Especially off the break, she's got to look to score the ball. But she can get people off her feet. She can beat people, especially in transition because the defense isn't set.
Boy, if you're Seton Hall, if you can get a stop at a score, you're feeling pretty good. You were outplayed and still in it. Olsen, though, left open and knocks it down again. 13 for Lucy Olsen.
I told you, if you don't switch the screens, she's going to get wide open shots.
Well, so much for that feeling good. All of a sudden, the deficit grows to 9. Seton Hall can hold for 1.
And when she comes off the screen, you have to deny her the ball if you're Seton Hall. If you let her get her feet set. Kids used to tell me that, oh, I contested the shot. I said, there's a big difference between contesting and preventing.
Right, did a good job to get it back, but lost it again. A leak out, 3 seconds to go. Burke just in front of the buzzer, and Villanova's up double digits. An offensive barrage for the Wildcats.
And Seton Hall's paying, they look lethargical on offense and on defense, and Villanova's making them pay right now.
What a performance from Villanova, bouncing back after the loss on Wednesday to UConn. And Lucy Olsen doing a little bit of everything. She had 15 Cats by 11.
Great drive fuels the leaders of tomorrow and today. Great vision paves the way for a brighter future. Great ambition goes places, moving onward and upward. Great empathy finds strength in kindness and in each other, working together to create something bigger than they ever imagined. Great minds can change the world, and great minds start at Seton Hall.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh, warm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Go. To move from one place to another.
Let's go again.
Good to go.
We should go.
Go Cats.
Go for it.
Keep going. Keep going.
Let go.
3, 4, let's go.
At Villanova University,
Go ahead.
our restless hearts, curious minds, and limitless drive propel us forward. Ignite change, go Nova.
A 25-point first quarter from Villanova. The Wildcats leading Seton Hall by 11 after 10 minutes of action. A reminder, today's game being simulcasted on the Women's Sports Network. It's part of WSN's Game of the Week this season in the Big East. And we still have 4 more to go and a good slate that we are looking forward to. Some big games. They're all big here down the stretch.
Yeah, they're all good games. Butler's improving. You know, when they come to Villanova, I think they'll play better. Marquette Butler will be a good game at Butler. Villanova has been scoring the ball better in their last couple. Even against UConn, they got 60 points in that game. And they're well on their way to that here. If they get 60, I don't know how they can lose the game, to be honest with you.
Denise Dillon kind of feeling that way as well. Thanks to all those tuning in on WSN or Flow Sports. No matter how you found us, thanks for making us a part of your weekend. Seton Hall's got it going the other way. Pirates try to find their footing on the road. An important game in the Big East. I'm Matt Janis with Harry Peretta and our entire Big East digital crew.
Yeah, and Villanova already has 3 threes in the game, and Seton Hall has none.
Plus 2 twos with their foot on the line.
Right. So, I mean, there's no way that Seton Hall can win the game if they don't have at least close to as many threes.
Right, good feed, sets up a wide open Baines for the jumper.
Yeah. 3-point shots matter, so important because they even out rebounding and they even out turnovers.
Well, you made quite a living off of the 3-point line over the course of your 4 decades as a head coach.
And the funny thing about it was I was against it when it came in.
Well, you are a person that will adapt to the times, that's for sure. Olsen, great feed. Oriole wide open, short with a jumper. The weak side rebound to right.
And that time again, they made Villanova Lucy's Olsen pass the ball.
White behind the defense, but good recovery as Dulce able to get a piece and spoil that look for Seton Hall.
Weber looked okay. I mean, Denise told me she was having some medical issues with her back and her legs, but she looked okay out there.
Bumps and bruises, as it was described by the Villanova staff coming in. She's going to try to play through it, and that's always an adjustment for the freshman. You got to learn to play through some discomfort at this level.
Especially this time of the year in February, everybody's sore. They like to run that ghost screen a lot, where they come up, they fake the screen, and then they flare. She's going to have to take this one-on-one here.
Through to shoot for Baines. She sees it, scoops it, missed the rim, and that's a shot clock violation. Great half-court defense from Villanova.
The difference is that Villanova is giving, Seton Hall no open looks, like in terms of squaring their feet. And all of Villanova's baskets, if you look at their perimeter baskets, they've all been set shots. Now, team's going to shoot a lot better when they can square their feet.
Does the spacing feel a tad off for Seton Hall's offense?
Yes, it does. It seems like they're all crumbled together. Now, Lucy Olsen makes that shot. That's fine.
The step back off the crossover. She's got 17.
But see, here's the problem, Matt. They let her get off to a good start. Now, guess what? She's going to make every shot now.
White beats the defense, can't finish near the rim, and Runyon rips the rebound away.
I told you, she could get 40 today the way they're playing.
Jones was going to pull the trigger. She started hot.
Last game against Connecticut, she had 16 in the first half, only got 2 the second half.
Olsen short again. They dare to shoot that 3.
She can shoot the 3. Here we go. Now that's a good shot there.
Gray turning the corner, misses the mid-range, and another one and done for Seton Hall.
Even though they missed that shot, that was a clean look from the perimeter. It wasn't rough.
Micah Gray is certainly a scorer. She hit the ground running, averaging 13 points per game, but starting to struggle a little bit as we get deeper into Big East play.
Remember something, Maddie Seegers had 50 points on Seton Hall last year.
Oh, it was quite the show she put on at
So,
this building.
Olsen, I'm telling you, is going to be near there. She's going to shoot the step back again.
And this time she's going to miss everything.
Yeah.
Much better defense from Shaylin Hagan.
But that's the defense I'm talking about. If they play her like that from the beginning of the game, she doesn't have 17 at this point.
You mentioned the record-breaking day last year for Maddie Seacrest. It did have an eerie sort of deja vu feeling in the early going from Tony Bozzella. Right. He's going to start to think that this building is cursed for the Pirates as an illegal screen on the handoff caught against Amari Wright.
I think a lot of times teams don't understand. If you're playing against a really good player like Lucy Olsen, you let her get easy shots early. Now she's going to make hard shots later. Because once you start feeling it, I'm telling you, it's a big difference.
It is such a confidence game, isn't it?
Yes, it's unbelievable confidence game it is. Now Villanova's just going to run their straight motion here. Now Seton Hall, again, they didn't switch that screen.
Low feed, Jones was able to handle it on a short hop. Burke shooting with confidence, and again, just can't find the range.
Her shot, there's nothing wrong with her shot. She's just mentally a little bit out of it at this point. That looked smooth. That was another open shot by Villanova. We used to chart shots at practice, Matt. If we had a flat-footed look, we used to give ourselves a point because we knew it was a decent shot. You know what I mean? Like that shot there for Seton Hall. That was a step-in, wide-open shot. So at practice, we used to give ourselves a point for that, so we knew we were getting decent shots.
Micah Gray able to knock it down, get the Pirates back within single digits.
They're going to run a flare screen for Olsen here.
15 still on the timer. Villanova very comfortable as the shot clock winds down. It's almost designed into the offense, but here an illegal screen.
That's the same play. See, this is what you look for from officials, is consistency. You know, that was the same call they called against Seton Hall down the other end.
And you like this officiated crew?
Yes.
They're some of the best in the business.
Yes, they are. It's a potential Final Four crew.
Put that one in the time capsule. He does say nice things about the officials. And that one's good from Savannah Catalan.
But again, they got a flat-footed shot instead of a rough, pounded shot.
Good look. Oriole attacking off the dribble. Wave it off. Offensive foul against Caitlin Oriole. Ace Satterfield sliding in to take the charge.
Yeah.
But remember, that restricted area is only there for the
men's game. It doesn't count anymore,
they took that out and try to get more charges into the game, although the help side defender does have to be there before you leave your feet. Just over 5 minutes left of the first half. Seton Hall down by 7, trying to cut into the deficit. Satterfield,
that's a really good shot there. That's a really good shot over a very good defender. Seton Hall's offense just looks much more fluid now.
That was a savvy vet, putting the repertoire on full display. Satterfield on her 3rd school, started at Ohio State, then to Xavier, and now finishing up with Seton Hall. And Tony Bozzella said, just a great kid. You can't ask for anything more than she gives us.
They're also guarding Dulcie a little tighter than they should.
Pitch to shoot, Jones.
Here's the no switch on the screen again. High pick and roll, they don't switch. Wide open shot again.
3rd time now that tonight Jones has knocked down a jumper with her foot on the line.
And that should have been a 3. She should have 3 threes in this game already.
got her team back up by 7.
Now again, Seton Hall's running better offense. Even though they missed a shot, they got a wide open shot that time.
That'll be Villanova ball. So the Pirates trying to sneak their way back in this one. Tony Bozzella liking the effort. Denise Dillon a little bit less enthusiastic of what she's seen from the Wildcats. She likes the jump shooting though of Zanai Jones. It's Nova by 7.
Go. To move from one place to another.
Let's go again.
Good to go.
We should go.
Go Cats.
Go for it.
Keep going. Keep going.
Let go.
3, 4, let's go.
At Villanova University, our restless hearts, curious minds, and limitless drive propel us forward. Ignite change. Go Nova.
In the world of athletes, where every move counts, setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery, we're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
Great drive fuels the leaders of tomorrow and today. Great vision paves the way for a brighter future. Great ambition goes places, moving onward and upward. Great empathy finds strength in kindness and in each other, working together to create something bigger than they ever imagined. Great minds can change the world, and great minds start at Seton Hall.
Villanova's led by as many as 11. Their advantage has been trimmed to 7 by Seton Hall, the veteran pavilion on the campus of Villanova University. And this matchup dates all the way back to 1980, 76 all-time meeting between these two teams. Nova's won 13 of the last 16, including 1 this year. The first one coming way back in 1980. You remember that one, don't you, Coach?
I was there for that one. Unfortunately, I don't remember the game. Did we win?
You got the win, 76-69. I thought you only remembered the win.
Sometimes I would say to Joe after the game, did we win?
Well, you are so familiar with both of these coaches. Obviously, you coached Denise Dillon as a player. She worked on your staff for a number of years before getting the head coaching job at Drexel and then returning here to Villanova upon her retirement. You've known Tony Bozzella for a long time. These are two dynamic coaches inside this league.
I knew Tony when he was at Iona. I coached a team that I think we won our 600th game there.
See, you remember the wins, I told you.
Well, some of the teams I had were pretty good, man.
No doubt about it.
Seton Hall's picked up their defense a little bit more now.
Just about to say, that's got to make Tony Bozzella happier after a little bit of a slow start there. Dulce can't finish inside, gets it back, and is fouled. So the good news is Christina Dulce showing off good persistence. The bad news is continues to struggle with her shot here. That's been a recurring theme the last 3 weeks or so.
Well, she rushes too much, man. She just takes her time. She make a lot more of those shots. But kids get into that funk, you know.
Yeah, seemed to put it all together offensively as she scored double figures, 7 of 9 from December through about mid-January. Even had a 19 and 17 point performance against Penn, but now has been held to single digits in 6 of her last 7. They really need to get her going.
And she's been shooting her foul shots much better, and that time she just missed them both, and she hasn't been doing.
57% overall, but she was in the 40s much in non-conference play.
Here's the ISO here.
Backing her way down, it's Baines.
Now that's a really good skill
window.
shot. See what they did, Matt? They gave her the ball when she turned. She could see all of 4 of the other Villanova defenders, so she could see the help. Instead of catching it on the block, they moved her away so she can see the help better.
Well, the adjustment has Seton Hall back within 5. Meanwhile, much tighter defense here on Lucy Olsen. It's the true freshman Catalan following her around.
They didn't switch that either.
Olsen contested 3. That one won't go. Dulcie kept it alive. Jones ripped it away, but Seton Hall quicker to the loose ball. Baines, good vision. Catalan couldn't get the shot off, though.
That was really good transition defense by Villanova because they didn't give up an easy basket on that. That's usually when you get an easy basket, Mac, when you have a live ball turnover.
Great point. Abby Degaday was hustling back to redshirt freshman.
Oh, geez, that's an illegal screen.
Whistle, they might get the contact from Villanova first, though St. Jones was holding.
Wow. What happened was a Villanova player tripped. Actually, I thought the Seton Hall player tripped. Watch right here. See them both trip here? The Seton Hall player tripped. And they called a defensive foul.
Because the 9 Jones saw it your way. You could see that look of puzzlement that the call went against
I thought they were
her.
going to call it on Seton Hall.
But the officials see it differently.
I would isolate Bain on the wing again.
Only 5 team fouls combined between these two teams in the second quarter. Satterfield, the spin, got it.
I don't think that's a good matchup for Seton Hall. Now, I know she scored on her earlier, but over the course of 10 shots with Dulcie on defense, you're going to have a tough time scoring.
Well, I thought Dulcie got a piece, but they say she lost it on the way up, so back to Villanova.
I did not see it. I mean, now let's see. I think they're going to go high pick and roll again.
Villanova's offense scored 25 in the first quarter, just 4 in the first 8 minutes of this second period, and that's been emblematic of the way their season has gone. A little streaky this year.
He's going to shoot the. Weber. Oh.
Olsen tried the extra feed. It was read by Higgins, who gets the steal. Attacking Olsen.
Nice
block.
block.
The layup.
Olsen's going to be open down this end too, man.
Trailing the play. Instead, they try to get it to Dulcie, and it's ripped away by Catalan, who is fouled in the backcourt.
Now, Weber looked a little slow on that, Matt. Seton Hall's defense has dramatically improved this quarter.
Hands from Higgins to get the steal, but then Olsen the recovery.
But we just talked about it, their defense is just much better this quarter. Much better. If they start the game this way, they probably have the lead. But again, consistency is a really big deal. They ran the ghost screen again. Now they isolate Baines.
But chance to get this to a 1-possession game, and Baines can't get the roll.
That's not a bad shot, though, for them. It's not a bad shot. She faded away a little bit, but she got it off clean.
Boy, every time it looks like Seton Hall might get over the hump, just goes the other way. An offensive foul against Olsen, as that was Micah Gray sliding in to take the charge.
I'd like to see that one. Oh, okay.
Olsen had
I couldn't see.
Going to the rim.
I couldn't see. There was a defender in the way. I couldn't see. I thought she pushed her off, man. Couldn't see it, but again, Seton Hall's defense is the reason why they're back in the game. Like you said, that Villanova's only scored 4 points this quarter.
Final minute of this first half. Gray open jumper rattles out, and it bounces into the hands of Jones for Villanova.
I think I would take my time here.
Jones thought about it instead of trying to get it inside to Dulcie, but pretty good work defensively from Gray. So it's Ryan from deep.
You see what happens, Matt. You get in a hole, and now Villanova only has, what, 7 points in the second quarter. You're still down 8. That's how much time it takes to catch up when you don't play good defense, especially in the first quarter.
But Runyon shot that one from halfway up the Jersey Turnpike back to Seton Hall.
Well, the key, once again, Matt, is if Villanova beats them in threes, it's very difficult for Seton Hall to win the game.
Catalan beat the initial defender, but rejected by Dulcie.
And Dulcie, again, Villanova got away in the first quarter without Dulcie playing a lot. She is a major factor on defense. If you're going to do this, I told you 8 shots out of 10, you're going to have problems scoring because Dulcie's going to change trajectory, and she's also going to block shots.
Blocked at least 1 shot in all but 3 games.
And she's changed trajectory on like 3 of them.
Baines elevates, draws a double, had a teammate wide open, didn't see her. Now she's got 3 to shoot.
She's got to shoot the 3.
Puts it up, whistle first, and a 3-second violation.
I think I go high pick and roll for Olsen here. They don't switch the screen. She should get an open shot here. Here comes the high pick and roll. Oh, they doubled her this time.
Good adjustment. Jones, 2 to get it off. Does. And hits.
And again, what did Seton Hall do at the beginning of the game? They let her get off to a good start, and now she makes a tough shot. So, you know, when you play poor defense, you got to blame yourself. But Villanova did a really good job there. Lucy Olsen did not force the ball. She looked to pass it.
Olsen has 17. Jones has 10. They're outscoring Seton Hall by themselves. Nova up 10 at the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we'd like to welcome back our Villanova women's basketball alumni. Villanova would like to thank the board for presenting today's alumni game. Welcome back Rosemary Flagg, Marie Caramanico, Kathy Sorrentino Penwell, Diane McDevitt, Lynn Thomas.
At the half, Villanova leading Seton Hall 34-24, 17 points from Lucy Olsen, 10 from Zanai Jones. Join Megan Caffrey, Kim Adams, Isis Young, and Lisa Garland as they take you inside Big East women's basketball each week on the In the Bonus podcast. This week's guest is Marquette and Big East legend Chloe Murata. You can find In the Bonus wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And here's a listen to what you'll get.
We're so excited to welcome into In the Bonus Chloe Murata, who has probably enough titles, just like how when we do our outro, former Marquette superstar, podcast host, professional basketball player, now entering the realm of basketball analyst, sideline reporter as well. Chloe, the list goes on and on, girl. Welcome into In the Bonus.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you. We had the chance to chat a little bit before, but I would love for you to kind of just talk about the latest experience that you've been kind of diving into. You've had the opportunity to work as an analyst recently with the conference, also as a sideline reporter too. So dive in and tell us what it's been like being in front of the camera these days.
It has been a blast. Credit to a lot of you guys in this podcast. I feel like I've talked to many of you at some point about this career, and to look at all of you guys as women in this area has been awesome. And so I was excited to talk to the Big East as I was playing overseas, and just kind of gave my interest. And I want to do this color commentary. I want to get into sports broadcasting, and the Big East has been awesome and giving me some opportunities. And so I was able to call the Marquette versus Xavier game on TV, which was awesome. First experience actually live. and I had a blast. I mean, as you guys know, many of you guys play, and this is just, you talk about your experience, you talk about what you know, and as the game goes on, and if I'm not playing basketball, I sure want to be talking about basketball. And so I've had a great time. In addition, you mentioned some of this sideline stuff and interviews, and I mean, the girls at Marquette are still my best friends. So as much as I can't be as much as biased towards them, it's fun to get some interviews with your great friends after the game.
Chloe, I want to ask you about this because you touched on it. We've talked. I mean, like Marquette alums here, we hang out, we know each other, but 100%.
It took Lisa all of 1 minute to mention that.
Did you expect anything less? Absolutely not. But Chloe, I feel like it was years ago that you first like pulled me aside and were like, hey, can I ask you some questions? Like, I think I was interviewing you, and afterwards you're like, wait, so now can I ask you questions like about broadcasting and getting into it, which was so cool. Now that you've kind of made that transition and you've put on the headset, you've sat sideline and you've called games, how has it been for you transitioning from player to commentator for like this chunk of time that you've been able to do it?
Yeah, I think it's definitely weird because you go from a basketball player to now what's your identity, and I think many of us have gone through this, whether it's been soccer, basketball, whatever sport it is, and you kind of look around like, what is my next thing going to be? And so as I sit there and I watch the team that I played with and I'm now on the sidelines reporting on it, I'm like, wow, it's kind of weird, but I think luckily just being around basketball for so long, and I was a journalism undergrad, I feel like it's pretty normal to me, honestly. I think that, Megan mentioned my podcast and we talk about sports, and this is my family's, thing. We just sit and we talk about sports. And so for me, I kind of just feel like a little bit natural almost. However, the headset kind of gets in the hair. You gotta be a little bit more appropriate when you're talking about some things. You can't be as biased. I was talking to some of the Big East people, and they're like, you got to be careful not saying us and we. And when you're talking about Marquette, and I'm like, that is something I'll have to get used to. So yes, there's still some things that obviously I have to learn and to get to your guys' level at some point. And so, but I've been having a blast with it. It's been awesome.
You are a natural for sure. And the headset, it takes getting used to. The key tip, I think, with like female hair is to have it taped at the top. Never let it be splitting open, because then your hair gets like pushed up into a little poof. So if it's not taped, ask them for black tape to tape it. And then, you got to figure out, is your hair back? Is it down? Okay, but Chloe, so you spent, it was 5 years at Marquette, right? You did the 5th year. So like we associate you, we're like, we still can't believe like you're not a student athlete anymore. So I have kind of a 2-part question. What is the best part about being removed from college now, and what do you miss the most, whether it has to do with sports or just being a regular college student?
Oh man. So I would say the best part about being removed right now is that I've had plenty of time with my family and friends, which, it's so worth it in the moment to sacrifice those things because it's what you care about. It's your passion. It's, basketball is it. And now I feel like, man, I've had a chance to, do things that I hadn't done in such a long time. Go out to dinner, spend Thanksgiving with my family, spend Christmas with my family, things like that. And that has been very special to me. And so I knew this moment was coming. I knew I was going to sacrifice for a certain part of my life, and then this is going to be it. And don't regret anything in that way. But man, I miss it too. I have been back to some Marquette practices and just kind of been around the group. And it's so much fun when you're around people 24/7. You get to learn about them. And the girls laugh at me sometimes. I still have a code to the locker room, grab some snacks here and there. And they're all like, you need to get out of the locker room. Like, you've been here for too long. And I'm like, I understand. So yeah, so there's definitely some things I miss with that. But I'm lucky to live close to them and see them all the time. So.
And welcome back, Veteran Pavilion on the campus of Villanova University on the main line in Pennsylvania, where the Wildcats leading Seton Hall by 10 at the half. I'm Matt Janis alongside the former coach Harry Peretta on Alumni Day here at the Finn. And what a show from the home team so far, up by 10. Lucy Olsen had 17, but Zanai Jones scoring 10, maybe even more important for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, Villanova needs that other scorer. It has been Weber for a while, but today it's Jones, you know what I mean? So someone different. So long as they get that second scorer, they're very effective.
Well, looking for that balance. So far, so good for the Wildcats as they have the lead. Other action in the Big East today as we look at the scoreboard of what is going on. Providence is red hot.
I'm telling you, they've been playing really well. They beat Villanova last week. So that was the game I pointed out at the beginning that Marquette better be careful of.
And the Golden Eagles going in the opposite direction. They better get things turned around in a hurry. But Providence, that double-digit comeback in the second half against Villanova really has righted their proverbial ship. And then 3 games tomorrow. Georgetown hosting DePaul. Butler, much improved an opportunity against Creighton. And then St. John's will take their shot at UConn.
Well, St. John's right now is in second place. They probably are the best overachieving team in the league right now. So tomorrow is a big game to see if they can play with Connecticut up there.
Talk about improvement within the season. It has certainly been there for the Johnnies. Here's a look at our first half stats. Both teams actually shooting it pretty well, but the point domination from Seton Hall being overcome by the Wildcats hitting the outside shot.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, the team that makes more threes will 90% chance that they'll win the game, and that's what Villanova's doing right now.
3 is more than 2. There's no doubt about it. And Villanova shooting 52% overall and knocking down 4 first half three-pointers. So you add it all up, and it's a 10-point Wildcat lead. As we mentioned, Alumni Day at the Finn. All of your former players, and there you are, right in the center of the screen.
Unfortunately, I coached all that. Makes me feel old, man, I'll tell you.
Wildcats up by 10 at the half. We're back with the second half in just a little bit. Home crowd loving it. Their Wildcats up by 10 to start the third quarter. Reminder, this game being simulcasted on the Women's Sports Network, part of the WSN's Game of the Week package for the Big East. We thank everybody for being with us on WSN, Flow Sports, however you are tuning in. I'm Matt Janis with Harry Peretta, our entire Big East digital crew, as Seton Hall begins with a basketball, trying to work their way back in it, and a wide open three off the mark from Micah Gray.
Well, they got a good one there, Matt. That was probably the best three look they got all game, and that was a nice run play. And now you got to knock it down.
The hustle, though, at least leads to a second chance opportunity. They were able to do a good job scoring inside, but not as many second chances as maybe they'd like.
Yeah. They got it spread out a little bit more here. So are they probably going to isolate Baines here or no high pick and roll?
Down to 7 of the timer. Wright again playing downhill in the post over Jones. Can't hit. And Dulcie the rebound.
But again, a contested shot. They left Olsen wide open.
Good catch by Oriole in the corner.
Villanova's using Olsen as a post-up player too a little bit, Matt.
And Dulcie steps to the perimeter.
Villanova's just running their straight motion here.
8 to shoot for Olsen. 17 in the first half. A deep 2 off the mark. Runyon kept it alive, and it's out of bounds. Going to stay with the Pirates, or excuse me, stay with the Wildcats.
Some of the out of bounds calls. Maybe I should put my glasses on.
I was thinking the exact same thing. They had a lot better angle than we did, and probably better vision as well.
This is what they've been really effective at, this high pick and roll with Jones.
He has been in complete control with her shot and off the bounce. Found Olsen, who's going to drive baseline.
That's
Find
what she has to do.
Who hits the 3.
That's what Olsen has to do. And again, Villanova's role players are stepping up huge in this game.
And Seton Hall steps out of bounds as Micah Gray lost track of where she was.
Might have stepped out of bounds before she passed it.
Trying to work the tightrope, no doubt about it, but good vision. The cross-court kick out from the baseline.
And that's what Olsen has to do. She has to set up her teammates for easy baskets, which she did. Sometimes, you don't have to score to help your teammates score.
Olsen the pull-up, and the rebound this time cleared by Satterfield.
I might isolate Olsen and just to make her pass the ball.
Wright again looking to create, gets stuck under the basket and can't find Satterfield. 3-on-2 the other way. Oriole lets the defense clear for the layup.
Bad transition defense by Seton Hall there, but it's a live ball turnover. That's when you usually get an easy basket.
4 in a row to start the second half for Villanova. They scored 25 points in the first quarter, then managed just 4 in the first 8.5 minutes of the second before the offense came back alive.
Yeah, it's hard for Seton Hall to win a high-scoring game, but their offense isn't that good. And Villanova has been struggling offensively, but they've been getting a lot of easy shots in the last couple games.
Is that last turnover, good hands from Runyon to rip it free.
And this is what happens on a live ball. You get a layup.
And Oriole loves playing against Seton Hall. Scored 13 in the first matchup in Jersey, and that was an important 13 points because it was a day Lucy Olsen couldn't hit a shot.
Right.
Open jumper off the mark
Now
from
that
Gray.
was an open shot. But they need more shots like that. Their other shots are more. Look at this. They don't even know where Olsen is.
And the extra feed sets up Dulcie.
Seton Hall's defense is where it was in the first quarter. Not very effective.
See how long Tony Bozzella elects to let it go
He
here.
likes to call timeout after they score a field goal. So look for a timeout if Seton Hall scores here. He likes to wait.
Gray getting it inside. Baines backing down. Dulcie got stripped by Runyon.
This is what happens when you wait too long.
Another 3-on-2. Runyon connects. And there's the timeout as Villanova opens the second half on an 8-0 run and lead by 19.
That's the problem, Matt. When you wait to score, you might not score to get the timeout. So you had to use it there.
Transition game going for Villanova. The passing, setting up Dulcie. All Wildcats in the third quarter. An 8-0 run by Villanova to start the second half. Wildcats have opened up a 19-point lead, and a big part of the reason why Bella Runyon, her stats may not wow you, Harry, but she's doing a little bit of everything tonight.
She's a dagger player, I call Matt. She's been playing for 4 years now, and now our offense is starting to come around. And when she scores the ball like this, Villanova is very difficult to beat because now they're going to get in the high 60s or low 70s. And it's tough to beat them when they score that many points.
She's knocked down 2 second-half jumpers. She's also ripped free 2 balls on the defensive end, which led to transition opportunities. Dulcie protecting the rim for Villanova.
And that's why Villanova is a lot better defensively when Dulcie's in the game. Because even when you get beat on a cut, you know she's back there to protect you.
The interesting thing, bringing her off the bench, they've struggled keeping her in games due to foul trouble. She's not picked up a single foul today.
Yep, she's playing very well today, especially on the defensive end.
Seton Hall's got to find something here offensively. They look to create off the bounce. It's Baines. Short on the step back. Dulcie, another rebound.
And she's not making shots in the second half, Matt. She doesn't score the ball, then Seton Hall has serious problems trying to score the ball.
Jones short on the pull-up. Seton Hall the rebound. Can the Pirates get out in transition? Baines trailing the play. Got the defender in the air twice, but they can't get a shot. Baines finally takes it. Satterfield tried, but Jones able to rip the rebound away.
Seton Hall's gotten some open looks at 3, but the problem now, Matt, is that you know, when you get a run on somebody, now you lose your confidence. Now Seton Hall is not even making open shots right now. Villanova's running their straight motion here.
And Tony Bozzella is frustrated. He just sent 5 players over to the scorers table waiting to check in for Seton Hall.
Another open 3 for Villanova.
Orioles short with it, and the rebound to Lopes.
Yeah, I think Tony's a little frustrated.
Which is interesting because he was so complimentary of the effort this team has given. He said they are as fun to coach as any team he's ever had.
He likes this team, man. He likes them. But today, I will tell you, I've seen them play a couple of times. They're just being so lethargic.
And an offensive foul on Satterfield sends it back to Villanova.
They started the game lethargic. They made a little run in the second quarter, and they came out the third quarter kind of like how they did in the first quarter. So sometimes players don't understand that. You know, they'll say, well, you know, you didn't give me a chance. You didn't do this. Blame the coach. But you got to blame yourself sometimes. You know, if you're not guarding somebody that you're supposed to be guarding, or, you know, you don't make a layup, you can't blame the coach for that.
So a fresh 5 in through Seton Hall.
Yeah, Villanova running their straight motion.
Okay, the Pirates just happy to have 5 players that you can bring into the game. They've dealt with injuries throughout the season as Olsen knocks down the jumper, particularly on their front line. And Tony Bozzella said it just has kind of taken us out of all the things that we were looking to do and that we were able to do in non-conference play.
It hurts to practice too, Matt, because you can't get any fluency in practice.
They've got UConn coming up next on Wednesday.
That's not good.
Step back, tough shot off no ball movement. Also the long rebound. Olsen, beautiful crossover move. Again finds Dulcie.
And now what happens is you bring in players that are not as talented, and even though they're playing hard, it's tough for them to play well. But I think he got his message across.
12 straight to start the third quarter for Villanova. They've opened up a 23-point lead. Pinckney couldn't create the space, got a dribble back, and the foul. Way to stick with it from the sophomore Shaylin Pinckney.
It's funny, Seton Hall's running their 5-out motion right now. They've changed, they've gotten away from the pick and roll.
Now the Pirates will look to continue to regroup as a true freshman, Maddie Weber, picking up the foul. One of the only things that's gone wrong for Villanova in this third quarter. The Wildcats, who were up by 11 at the break, on top by 21 with 3:46 left in the third.
Great drive fuels the leaders of tomorrow and today. Great vision paves the way for a brighter future. Great ambition goes places, moving onward and upward. Great empathy finds strength in kindness and in each other, working together to create something bigger than they ever imagined. Great minds can change the world, and great minds start at Seton Hall.
Fresh, warm hot dogs. When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh, warm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Go. To move from one place to another.
Let's go again.
Good to go.
We should go.
Go Cats.
Go for it.
Keep going. Keep going.
Let go.
3, 4, let's go.
At Villanova University,
Go ahead.
our restless hearts, curious minds, and limitless drive propel us forward. Ignite change, go Nova.
Tony Bazzella's team down by 21 in this third quarter, and it doesn't get any easier from here. Up next for the Pirates, a trip to UConn on Wednesday. They've also got dates with St. John's and Marquette on the road in their next 5. They entered play 5-5 in the Big East. They're a banged-up team, and you're going to hit stretches like this in the season, and this is one of them.
And this was a big game for them. They didn't play well, and it's hard to get healthy when you have to go to UConn next. You can lose your confidence real quick in that game also, and then they still have to go to Marquette. So they've kind of digging themselves a hole here.
The good news for the Pirates, they were able to get McKenna White back today. She's played some extended minutes. She's out there right now, number 0 in blue. The bad news, Pinckney cannot convert the old-fashioned three-point play, and the deficit stays 21.
Seton Hall isn't designed, their offense isn't designed to score points in bunches. So it's difficult to make up this kind of lead.
Remember, Seton Hall playing without White for the last couple of weeks. She's back today as Olsen in and out on the 3, and a foul will keep it here as they were holding on to Christina Dulce. But also no Asia Davis, the grad transfer from Manhattan, who had averaging 6 rebounds per game in her first season with the Pirates.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, I talked to him, and look, I've had teams that deal with injuries. You just have to try to hang in there as long as you can.
Meanwhile, a tough stretch coming up for Villanova as well. Back-to-back road games. Marquette, who the Wildcats won in a thriller against earlier this year at the Finn, as Olsen misses. And then Georgetown, a rivalry game on the road next weekend.
Yes. So Villanova's going to get into their whatever you want to call it, stretch, streak.
Battle on short with the 3. One and done, though, has been the story. Really good job from Villanova on the glass today. Weber can't hit the open 3.
Like right now, I feel kind of bad for the Seton Hall kids because when you get down like this, mentally it's hard. And now they've gotten like 4 wide open shots and they haven't made any of them. So it's a psyche thing now. Like I used to just tell my team when you get in the funk like this, just try to play better. Don't even look at the scoreboard. Just try to play better.
Win the little segments of the game.
Correct.
It's a foul here drawn by Higgins, who will go to the free throw line.
But like people used to say to me, I don't care about winning. I used to tell them, you can't win unless you play better, so you better worry about playing better first.
You were telling a great story earlier on the Big East show before the game, the pregame show, about a conversation you had during a timeout with one of your former players back in the day.
Talking about Katie Davis
Yes.
timeout? Yeah, she was looking in the stands at her father, and we're getting beat by 20. I said, Katie, he can't help you right now. I'm your only hope. So they grow up from freshmen, and she was one of the players that was on the Elite 18 that beat UConn for the championship. So it shows you how much better they got over 4 years.
Exactly those little moments that you can
Yes.
build upon, even when a game gets away from you a little bit. And Tony Bazzella, as good as that as anybody in the Big East.
Yeah, he's been through it. He's been through the wars. This is stinging right now, but I think he'll look at it. I might get the phone call tomorrow, Matt. It's amazing how now I console the coaches because it's so much easier because I went through it.
You know exactly what's on their minds.
They're like, well, they never can say to me, you don't understand.
They probably are asking you why you look so so relaxed. Weber 6 to shoot, creating off the bounce, scoops it home.
She, I don't even know. She looked pretty good on that one. She's struggling. Denise told me she has a back issue that's affecting her legs, which is hard. When you have a back issue, it's tough to run.
Pretty shot from Seton Hall's freshman Catalan, and the Pirates still within 19.
Again, like I said, just try to play better.
So Savannah Catalan got big praise from Tony Bozzella this week. He said, of all the freshmen I've ever coached, I'm not sure that I've had a freshman that comes to work as hard as Catalan does every day. He said she is one of his favorite freshmen of all time to come through the program.
And like he said, he really likes his team. I have actually been to a couple of his practices, and he does really like them. But today, they just got off to a terrible start, and I think they kind of deflated a little bit.
He says this is more of a sum of all parts team.
Right. They all need to play well. They don't, even though they have a kid in Baines that can score the ball, Lucy Olsen is the 6th leading scorer in the country. So I don't know if any of their players can get 17 in a quarter. So they have to play collectively well.
They don't have 17 in a quarter as a team so far today.
That's my point. So, you know, they have to collectively play better. And again, Villanova, when all their, I hate to say the word role player, but when their other kids score the ball, they're just so much a better basketball team.
There's Higgins and Seton Hall back within 17, trying to go down fight.
Right. I mean, Seton Hall's a decent team, and Villanova made them look not very good.
Oriole, the extra feed to Runyon as they look inside, but good job to take away Dawson. Baines still battling defensively. A hand check call going to go against Jediah Bland Fitzpatrick.
Tony Pacella's frustrated on the call, but another thing I learned, Matt, when you don't play well, you don't get any calls either. This is a nice open shot off the screen. They have to get more open shots and then just try to make them.
Higgins, a grant transfer from Penn State, second season at Seton Hall. Remember, she injured her ankle last year. There's a foul on the shot from Jones. Will send her to the free throw line. And that kind of derailed what Seton Hall was trying to do offensively when she went down and wasn't 100%. And now she's shifted roles, coming more off the bench this season.
And again, that goes back when you get key players hurt. You have to fill spots. People have to learn different roles. It's not that easy.
The interesting thing about this Seton Hall team, Tony Bozzella said, you know, he was working the portal before the portal was a thing. He's always been a guy that's used a lot of transfers.
Well, he has used a lot of transfers. And that's what Seton Hall lives off. And he looks for certain kids that fit in. And like he said, he's got a good group of kids.
So 2 misses. Seton Hall down 17 with the ball. Maybe a chance to build some momentum here late in the third. The Wildcats not immune to letting big leads slip away. They let a 17-point advantage dissipate against Providence in an overtime loss. 10 to shoot. Pinckney working on Runyon. Offensive foul as Bella Runyon continues to do all the little things.
Let me tell you something. She does great things on defense. I mean, I've never seen a consistent defensive player like that. That really helps. They just took away 2 points from Seton Hall. And then if Villanova scores, it's a 4-point swing.
5 seconds left in the quarter for Olsen. She draws the double team twice, works away from it. And finally, Villanova misses at the buzzer.
But you know, when you take 2 points away from the other team by playing great defense, it's like playing offense.
Now, the Villanova defense was the story of that third quarter. They hold Seton Hall to just 8 points, and they extend an 11-point lead to 17. Back with the fourth in a moment.
Custom jersey today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the work for the Toyota Military Salute. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in singing God Bless America.
Team leading Seton Hall 49-32. I'm Matt Janis with Harry Peretta. Just a moment ago, they honored Fran Ehrman, who Villanova fans might remember better as Fran Lamb, for her military service. She played for head coach Harry Peretta, and what a special person she is.
Yeah, I get very emotional when I talk about Fran. She didn't even tell me that she won the Bronze Star in Afghanistan. She carried a guy off the battlefield under missile attack. It's a great thing.
And you can hear in your voice how much she means to you.
Yeah, she's a great kid. Great kid. Sorry.
When you have that kind of a person inside your program, she was in the Army ROTC program while she played for you at Villanova, and then went on to serve in the 157th Combat Sustainment Support Battalion, and as you mentioned, as decorated as they come, as Olsen trying to finish inside, called for the offensive foul, and just fantastic to give an opportunity to come back and have her be recognized.
Yeah, great, and we wanted her to come back on Alumni Day too, Matt, when we all were here. Going back to the game, Lucy's trying to take, I think, a little bit too many tough shots here. I think she might want to look to distribute a little bit more.
They're all trying to work their way back in it within 17. The deficit swelled as large as 24.
Seton Hall has been running their offense better later in the third quarter. They gotten easier shots, but again, they're not built to score tons of points quickly.
Higgins, who's had a big second half, could not hit that one, and Jegede the rebound. It's a special day for you overall. I know you're paid by the Big East, and we're trying to be objective as Runyon knocks down the jumper, but you gave 4 decades to this program, and to see all your former players back has to mean so much.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, I told people I'm not stupid. I've covered myself. I got lawyers, doctors, dentists, veterinarians, what else? Nurses. So if I want to get older, I have nurses to take care of me. So I tried to cover myself over the years.
Cadlot off the mark with the 3, and following her deployment, Fran earned a bachelor's degree in nursing and was selected as a Pat Tillman Military Scholar.
Yep.
She's got the full repertoire almost all by herself.
I'll tell you a funny story in a minute, Matt.
Time to shoot here for Villanovas. They look for Orioles. Deflected away. Good hands from Baines. Olsen ends up with a contested shot. Dulcie cleans it up on the weak side.
The funny story was she came to see me before she deployed, and I gave her, screamed at her. I said, you stay in the green zone. Don't try to be a hero, blah, blah, blah. And next thing I know, that's exactly what she did. So then I ripped her again for doing it.
Coach has always got to be coaching, right?
Yes.
Oriole unselfish to Runyon, right back to Oriole. Beautiful basketball from Villanova.
Again, exactly what Tony Priscilla said that he didn't want to happen is happening. All of other Villanova's players are scoring the ball.
Oriole knocks down the triple. Seton Hall takes the timeout, and the Pirates are reeling. The Wildcats behind Lucy Olsen and Christina Dulce, plus everybody else, rolling today on the main line, up by 25.
Now, Nova Nation, once again, welcome your Villanova band, cheer, and dance teams.
All Villanova this afternoon. The Wildcats up by 25 with 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. The Big East Mobile Tour continues. It's a stop in Villanova this weekend. Follow at Big East on social media to see when the Big East road trip will stop at your favorite Big East school. And it is a cool scene when you watch the Big East roll into your gym. They were out there pregame and had all kinds of things for the fans to do, even a pregame show that they had.
Yeah, it was fun. Megan was doing it outside. Villanova's doing a smart thing here. They got Lucy Olsen out of the game here. You don't want to pound her into the ground.
No doubt about it, as Olsen got off to such a fast start. She had 15 in the first quarter for Villanova, and that's an and one coming for Seton Hall as a blocking foul against Bella Runyon.
But she did what she had to do, Matt. She got him off to a good start. I used to tell Shelly Pennyfather, who was arguably one of the greatest players ever played here, great players don't necessarily win the game. They keep you in it or give you a lead so then the other players can feel more comfortable. And that's what happened today with Lucy.
Such a good point as Satterfield able to convert the old-fashioned three-point play. Well, you know it. Shelly Pennyfather and Maddie Sechrist, as well as anybody. You have special relationships with both. It was Sechrist against Seton Hall in this building last year that broke Pennyfather's record for most points scored here. Also broke the all-time record for points scored in a Big East game when she dropped 50 on the Pirates.
Yep. Two extremely good players and extremely good people.
Dulcie inside, creates space, avoids the charge, and finishes.
And Villanova is distributing the ball. They're moving the ball really well here.
If I could ask you who's better, because that's like asking you to pick between your children, but can you compare and contrast them as players?
They're very similar, Matt, because they both could score inside, outside. They were big kids who were also guards, so they're very, very similar. The only thing I tease Maddie about all the time is that Shelly became a better defensive player than her.
Speaking of good defense, Dulcie, the block and the tie-up. It'll stay with Seton Hall on the arrow.
And you see how important Dulcie is to Villanova. You know, you get the ball inside, you got a problem scoring here. And then look at this place. She avoids it, scores. This is where I think referees, they don't want to call the flop rule, so they just let the play go, which they should do.
That's what it was forever.
I haven't seen a flop called all year, by the way, because it's 2 shots in the ball, you know. It's a very severe penalty.
Runyon, a little bit of a push off, but she was late to the spot, and the foul will go against Bella as Zada Baines trying to get going. Not going to help in this game, but they've got a matchup with UConn coming next, and the Pirates just looking to build a little momentum here.
Yeah, I just like, again, you just have to try to play better here. You're not going to win the game on the scoreboard. And I know people don't like when I say that. It's not giving up. You have to face reality. You know, at this point in the game, just try to play better.
And you're not going to come back without playing better, so you might as well start there. Huh. If it gets even better, so be it.
I'll tell you a great story. We were getting beat by like 30 against UConn up at UConn. So I sent one of my players down to Gino's bench. Said, listen, we're playing Pitt the next game. They play 2-3 zone. Can you please play 2-3 zone so we can practice? So
did he oblige?
Yeah, he obliged. He gave me 5 minutes of it. So we were just working on the next game there.
Oh, the stories.
Oh, the stories are great.
6.5 to go in this one. 59-37, Villanova leading.
This is where Olsen's got to be careful in this game, too. Don't take any crazy shots, any crazy drives, you know. You don't want to get hurt in a game like this.
By the way, speaking of Shelly Pennyfather, how about Christina Dulcie passing her on the program's all-time block shot
Oh,
switch?
really? Well, we never had great shot blockers when I played, Matt, so Denise got that one for sure.
Nice take for the redshirt freshman, Abby Jagade, going baseline.
She's been playing a lot better, too. She had a tore ACL last year, and she kind of slow coming back. She looked really good on that play. She looked athletic on that play.
She only scored 9 points in Villanova's first 9 games combined. Then she had 9 in the win against Xavier. That really seemed to help her confidence as Seton Hall turns the ball over.
Yeah, and she's playing, like, sometimes, Matt, it takes a longer time to come back from an ACL injury, you know? And I watched her last year. I watched her at the beginning of this year, and she just didn't look fluent to me. But I will tell you, over the last 4 games, she looks much more fluid. Like, you saw that play there. She got off her feet and laid that in.
Lucy Olsen back in. Bryn McCurry into the contest as well for Villanova. Olsen, gorgeous feed, but the recovery is Satterfield able to block the shot on Jones.
And Olsen's doing what she should do now. She's distributing the ball. She doesn't have to score. It's making her teammates better.
Good hands from Satterfield. She's still not 100%, Coach. 80% or so, Tony Bozzella said, after that ankle injury. Remember, she didn't play the first time these teams matched up.
Yeah, she still looks a little slow.
Jones off the mark. Battle for the rebound, and on the arrow, it'll stay with Villanova. Nice hustle from Megan Olbrey.
It gives Villanova's other players a chance to play now, too, a game experience. Because they're going to need those kids later in the year, Matt.
Olbrey's in particular, something that Denise Dillon points to. They're looking for a little bit more along the front line as Olsen off the inbound connects.
Right. And Megan can give you, she can score the ball from the perimeter, so when they play a UConn next time or a Marquette, she can take their big kids away from the basket, so you have to honor her shooting ability.
She was out 15 games with a foot injury, and she's still not 100%, but she's gaining more confidence that she has that explosion back inside because she has great athletic ability. As that went off the mark from Ayana Lopes for Seton Hall.
And then the other thing happens, like I told you before, even easy shots become hard for Seton Hall because you're just out of rhythm.
Olsen again leaving it off. Olbrey's on the block.
I think I would take, I'd take Lucy Olsen out now.
You and Denise Dillon are too in sync because as you said that, she looked to her bench and Caitlin Oriole heading to the scores table. I'm guessing it's exactly for Olsen as that's off the mark from Micah Gray. It's almost like you guys have spent some time together. And there's Olsen sitting down. A big round of applause as you see Micah Gray frustrated, but Denise Dillon going to get her star out.
Right. It's a good move by Denise. Like if she was going for some kind of record or something, that's different, you know. But right now, you need her for the rest of the season.
It was funny, the game last year between Seton Hall and Villanova. You know, Maddie was having a fantastic game through 2.5 quarters, but it was such a lopsided contest. You didn't think she'd be able to go after any records as Oriole can't hit the 3. It comes back towards her, but it's corralled by Wright. But then all of a sudden, she caught fire in the 3rd quarter, and Dillon didn't have a choice but to leave her in.
And that's, you know, you have to just keep aware of that. If you don't need that, then you just do what Denise did. Take her out now.
And it's tough
for the
being
next game.
A coach on the wrong side of that. But Tony Bozzella said, look, when you're going for history, you understand. Oriole, nice feed inside the extra pass as Oriole leaves it in. Olbrey's to McCurry to Oriole. How many times has that combo led to a bucket?
McCurry, she's going to be a good player too, freshman.
Satterfield, there's that explosion, but the block from Olbrey. Jones leaves for Oriole and a walk called against Caitlin.
Still 3 minutes left to go, man. These kids are getting some good playing time for Villanova.
It'll be valuable experience. Reminder that this is our Women's Sports Network Game of the Week inside the Big East. This game being simulcasted on the Women's Sports Network, and we've still got 4 more in the package. An exciting partnership for the Big East and Flow Sports, the Women's Sports Network all year.
This group's playing well for Villanova. They're playing good defense.
Right, the pull-up misses, and Jones grabs the rebound. Now, this is a Villanova team. The highs are very high.
Yeah.
The lows at times, though, have been pretty low. How do they find consistency and look more like this every game down the stretch?
I think it's just they need more playing time, the kids. And as they get it, they look better. Like, they played well against Connecticut, too. People don't know that.
It was a game deep into the third quarter. They actually were leading in the final seconds of the first half.
And I talked to Denise earlier in the year. I said, Denise, you're just going to have to be patient because even though some of these kids are juniors, they haven't played very much. And guess what? They haven't been called on to score either because you had Segrist up until this year, and then you have Lucy Olsen. So these kids are still finding their way, Matt. And I think they're going to be much better at like 2, 3, 4, 5 games from now, which they are already. Like, Seton Hall was playing really well coming into this game, and Villanova made them look pretty bad today.
They looked fantastic last week against Georgetown.
That's my point.
Maybe the most spirited effort of the year for the Pirates is Gray off the mark with the 3. Jagaday is going to be called for the foul as she nudged down Jediah Bland Fitzpatrick. And it was interesting, Harry, because Tony Bozzella asked his team right before that Georgetown game, say, give me 3 things that define Seton Hall basketball this year. And he said, I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be, but immediately they all raised their hands and boom, boom, boom. 3 answers: family, effort, competitiveness. And Bozzella said, you know, that's exactly what we're striving for. And then they went out and they backed it up. He said it was the most spirited effort. They played together more than they had at any point all year long. And they played as physically as they had all season long. And if they can get more of that down the stretch and they start to get a little bit healthier, they still can make some noise late in the year.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought this game was going to be really close, but they just started out like days ago. And once they lost the momentum, and they gave Villanova the momentum, it's difficult to recover. It's like a snowball going down a hill. It just gets bigger and bigger.
Andy Weldy and Nagy Grant getting some playing time here late for the Wildcats. Their 3rd and 4th games, respectively, of the season.
I'll tell you one thing. If they learn a lesson, they won't come out and not play hard again at the beginning and be lackadaisical.
Pope's got a block shot on Weldy. Final 85 seconds today on the main line. Open 3 off the mark.
And they've gotten some good threes. They've made none of them, I don't think.
And a hand check call against Micah Gray.
Villanova goes to Georgetown next.
What a performance here today by Lucy Olsen. She set the tone right away.
Right away. I think she had 17 in the first quarter, didn't she, Matt? Close, right?
And the buzzer beater got her to 17 as she was knocking them down from all over the floor.
And that's what happened. That's when the snowball started going down the hill, and then it was over for Seton Hall.
And for the Wildcats, they will play at Marquette and then at Georgetown.
Oh, at Marquette
next
first.
week.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That'll be a big game.
That's a really big game, by the way, especially if Marquette gets upset today. It's a huge game.
Well, he missed the open 3.
Because if Villanova can win that game at Marquette, they can get 3rd place.
And Nova's computer numbers are pretty good. The strength of schedule is there. What they need are the
They got to beat somebody in the top 25.
Yep. And I thought it was going to be Marquette.
And
now
they
Marquette
dropped
is
out,
struggling a bit right now.
So, but my point is, you get a lot of wins against the top 50. That helps.
Back door and the finish from Olbreeze.
Megan Olbreeze is learning how to move without the ball for Villanova, and this game's a good game for her. It's funny, I guess it was against Providence that Villanova didn't make a 3 for the first time in 20 years. Seton Hall didn't make a 3 today.
So the crowd comes to their feet. Villanova made plenty of 3s today, and they're going to get out of here with a win. Number 7 in Big East play, 14th overall on the season, as Nova wins at 69-41. So all smiles for Lucy Olsen and company. Denise Dillon gets another victory for her team.
You could say that Villanova role players really did a great job today.
Boy, fantastic effort from everybody across the board. Alumni Day. Harry Beretta celebrating with his former players, and the current ones did an awful good job for the Wildcats. For our entire Big East Digital Network crew and my partner Harry Beretta, I'm Matt Jennings. Thanks so much for being with us. Wildcats win it by 28.